Hi, everyone, and I invite you today to have some nice and amazing bagels with me on this episode of Brewing E-commerce with Jyoti.
Hey, hi Shwetank, hi everyone.
So I love the name Jyoti. Firstly, so guys, I'd let Jyoti introduce herself because I don't think I'll be able to do justice to it. But I'm looking forward to a nice session. A lot of CRO, a lot of data, a lot of Shopify and e-commerce because Jyoti is one of those experts. And if you've not seen her post on what it looks like now before and what it looks like now, you're missing out big time on LinkedIn. So Jyoti, I'm super excited for our chat.
Same here. Yeah, I'm so glad that we are having this chat today.
Great. So let's start, Jyoti. Blue Bagels. That's a really cool name. What's the story?
I'm a big time foodie.
Nice.
So, yeah, everything I do mostly has to do something with the food. So, that's not in life in general, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the primary thought process was that we needed something quirky, not something very serious. We did
Yeah.
not want to come across as serious office folks, but we wanted to come across as very relatable, fun, you can be friends with, like that. So, that's how we narrowed down to this name.
Well, and it does bring the attention, right? So I think very well, good job done from there. So let's start from the journey, Jyoti. I'd like to share a little bit about your experience, where you come from, and the answer to a very important question that I ask myself many times is like, why the heck did I end up in e-commerce and CRO?
Well, I have so many questions that I ask myself about why the heck I did that, I do that, I'm doing what. So it has been a chain of questions from me. About me, I started off as a mechanical engineer, and very soon, but I switched the field. And back in 2014, when e-commerce, when digital marketing was new, that's when I got the chance. It was not an intention, it was an accidental move, not knowing what I'm getting into. And I made the move from a mechanical core company to a digital marketing startup in India, and not knowing what I'm going to do. But it seemed interesting, the pace was fast, that's what I was looking for. And so that was my beginning of digital marketing experience. And from there on, I have had quite a couple of experiences: agency side, brand side, performance marketing, SEO, conversion rate optimization, e-commerce product management. So yeah, that has been the journey like. And over the course of the learning, the growth in the digital marketing area, e-commerce was something which was very interesting, of
Mhm.
course, and has always been. Me myself being an impulsive shopper, uh, has it's full of curiosity. And this is where it piqued my curiosity, that okay, why am how do we really make use of it, and how I shop from here and not there, and why is it making more, why something is seeming more interesting, and like that. Now
Hmm.
with this field, with this movement, the experience itself, I finally then understood how customers behave. There are different type of customers, not everyone is like me, how I
Hmm.
shop. So it all was super interesting and super cool. It was a mix of creative, the data, the analysis, the serious stuff, the boring stuff, the creative stuff. So yeah, that's how I'm here.
Yeah, and I also know that you are in one of my favorite countries, in the world right now. So yeah, you're in the land of the awesome food of France.
Oh yes, the French patisseries.
Okay, amazing. Um, so with your experience, and you've been doing this more than a decade now, right? Um, there was always every conversation of e-commerce around performance, right? But I think in the past couple of years, you might hear some guy far away talking about CRO. How do you think this change has been, and why do you think this change has been, and you know why it's relevant for you and guys like us to see that there is a brighter future of CRO where, still hardly there are brands who kind of take it seriously.
Right. I think the shift has happened because the platforms like paid marketing are now not delivering what it used to for brands 5 years back, for example. I myself, when I was in performance marketing, when I was in SEO, things were very different. Things were very much in control. Optimization could happen, and there was a lot of control and how the algorithm worked, right? Now, I see that movement that it is not about targeting anymore when it comes to driving traffic through paid marketing. SEO is ever changing. The algorithm changes are not in our control, right? So, over time, one thing which a business owner, which a brand has in control is their own website, right? Meta is changing rules as and when they want. Google campaigns are changing, of course. Everything is machine learning driven now. Same goes with SEO.
Absolutely.
Your website is
Mhm.
the only thing that you can actually control. And while I saw that shift happening, I even now so many brands are only focusing on the ROAS of the ads. They are
Yeah.
spending millions of their monies on ads, not really realizing that the problem is on their website. But yeah, the shift has already happened. People do realize that their website is the most is the platform where they need to optimize the experience, which will yield the best results. Even if their marketing and traffic, everything is controlled, the best results cannot come without focusing on the website.
And I understand targeting is becoming more difficult, a lot of rules coming in, the paid media doesn't perform, um, and and everything is very, very more expensive. I understand that. But do you think now brands are doing it because they want a solution to the problem which didn't exist, or they are really trying to diversify that, that I can't just rely on performance, I have to kind of look beyond also? What do you think is kind of driving this change for them? Because I think the realization, in my opinion, what brands are is, we need to really do things, stand out of the crowd. There is a, a population in any country which is the target market segment, right? I'm trying to sell, say, shampoo, right? A D2C shampoo. There are so many people who will buy shampoos, and there are like 20 players in the market at the moment, and one coming every new month, right? So all these factors kind of, how is it playing from a brand's perspective, which is kind of going in towards the CRO, in your opinion?
Okay. I think brands very well realize these days that loyalty is a thing of past now, right? Like you touched upon this, there are 20 competitors, 20 players of the same product now, right? If I am buying from brand A today, there are very few chances that I'm going to come to the brand A again, right? So brands are realizing this as well, in addition to, of course, that the performance of the marketing is not as it used to be.
Hmm.
Um, I think more and more now the understanding and awareness is regarding having a growth strategy which is more sustainable. Earlier, when brands used to be funded, they used to burn a lot of money on ads.
Yeah.
Now they have realized that that approach is not sustainable
Right.
anymore,
Yeah.
right? After the cash is burned, where the growth will come from? So they have to include their strategy in a way where such sustainable channels are also a part of it, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
CRO is a big part of it. People are realizing that, okay, if they burnt a huge chunk of money in developing a cool feature, which
Yeah.
ultimately made them lose money, so they know that, okay, I should have A/B tested it.
Yeah.
So more and more people are realizing now, more and more people know that, okay, even after redesigning the whole website, it is not getting them higher results as before. So there is a fundamental mistake that everybody
Yeah.
is making. So
Yeah.
all of these things, people are learning from each other, the communities are learning from each other in the D2C space, in the e-commerce space, and that's how I think the shift is happening. And finally, people are open in adapting things like CRO and um, looking out for tools.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. You say that because there is something known as incremental revenue or opportunity, and there is something very other important aspect is the opportunity loss.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think what guys have not been able to figure out is I'm spending the money, but I'm not even able to make the money out of it, or get the returns out of it, and I'm just going, that's like the sunk cost toward
right.
it.
Yeah.
Just doesn't help. So I know you run a fairly big agency, you do a lot of CRO work, etc. Right? So um, I would like a lot of conversation about CRO because again, for me, it's always a great opportunity to talk to experts like you and get that understanding. And I'm sure a lot of people watching as well, would like to know how to take those baby steps. So, is there a time for CRO? Is there like I reach X amount of orders or I have X amount of visitors? When should brands start looking at taking the first step towards CRO?
Very interesting question because there are multiple thoughts that I see floating around.
Sure.
As per my experience, CRO should be considered when, as a brand owner, you are deciding that you are going to launch your product on your own website.
Fair.
I
Hmm.
think the very first step, the consideration should be that stage itself. Now, what in CRO is subjective to where you are in the business. For
Nice.
example,
Hmm.
so many folks these days use CRO and experimentation synonymously, but it
Hmm.
is not the same, right? Experimentation, that is A/B testing, is where you will need a certain threshold, a certain sample size of the orders or the traffic on your website, when you can start really A/B testing efforts of CRO. But even if a business is not there yet, even if it is super new, then also there are so many research, like you can do user testing, you can mine reviews of your competitors, you can mine the content, and really at least launch the first version also in a way that it is customer centric, right? So there are different aspects to it, but just in a crispier format, to answer your question, businesses of any size, even if you're launching today, if you have been in the business for 5 years, if you're catering to B2B or B2C, doesn't matter. If you have a website, it can be conversion optimized, maybe not A/B tested to take those calls, but the efforts towards optimization can happen.
I love it. I think this clarity, Jyoti, is so important because there are a lot of buzzwords, a lot of people, and a lot of people trying to sell you a lot of things today, yeah. And everybody is an expert, but what's important is brands to be able to make differentiation. And where I come from, in the early days, 0 to 1 stage, 1 to 10, or even 10 to 100 stage, right? One of the biggest and most important resource that any founder doesn't have is time. Money is definitely, a part and parcel of it, but if you go in a wrong path and spend a lot of that time which goes into wasted effort, you coming back takes a lot. People, I'm a firm believer of fail fast kind of a thing, but even that failure of doing it fast requires your time and attention and resources which are very valuable.
Absolutely.
So I think your differentiation is very nicely put, and I think I'm going to use it in my conversations and my pitches as well. Is you need to look at optimization what you're doing right now, and then you need to kind of look at how you do it further. So yeah, perfect. Yeah. uh, that's that's an important aspect of it. So if a new early stage brand comes to you, right, they have, let's say, you know 50,000 visitors, on their Shopify store, 100,000 visitors. Let's take that for as an example. What would be your first three steps to kind of go and look at, conversion optimization on their store? So, how would you go about doing that from 0 to 1?
Okay. If a website is already driving 50,000 visitors or 100,000 visitors a month, then I would, if I can assume that they are already maybe making 1,000 orders plus on their website, right? In that case, they are also eligible for A/B testing, of course, not with a huge velocity, but of course, they are eligible. But having said that, taking a step back, for every website, even at this scale, or if the scale is much larger or even lower, the very first step is to really identify the gaps. Now, how do we do it? Through quantitative analysis, every website, and I think um, this is very normal for everyone out there to have their Google Analytics 4 setup. I assume that okay, every business is already having that setup, right? So we start with that to understand what is happening on their website. What do I mean by that? Is to really understand where the drop offs are happening, right? And which are the pages with the most traffic? What is the exit rate of those pages? What is the bounce rate of those pages? Understanding what is happening on the website. If there is a level of expertise or possibility, then they must configure custom events also to further understand how different elements on the website are influencing the conversion rates. So essentially, getting the data and analyze, okay, what is happening, where the drop offs are happening, which funnel step is the most important, and
Hmm.
which elements of the website are influencing the conversions the most. All of this you can get from the data. Now, after understanding, okay, where should you start, right? The question is, okay, what do we change here now? So, after doing the quantitative analysis comes the qualitative analysis part. That is basically to understand what you find in the quantitative, why that is happening, why the abandonment is the most on product pages, for example, why people are abandoning the cart, for example, right? So, understanding those whys, you will then get into the analysis of, let's say, session recordings, heat map analysis, these analysis to understand the behavior. You can actually analyze the behavior. Okay, what people are going through, are there any rage clicks happening, right? Which sections people are engaging with, are they trying to find something? In addition to this, you can also launch surveys on the website to gather more information. If people are abandoning the product page the most, then ask them, what is stopping you? What
Hmm.
else are you looking for, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Those insights are reveal the gold mines for any client, any brand. You really understand what is it that is stopping people from converting today. So, all of this qualitative analysis is what will lead you to understand why those drop offs are happening in the first place.
Yeah.
And how to cater that then
Hmm.
comes with another level of analysis, which we usually do, let's say, review mining. Analyze your own reviews,
Sure.
understand the elements which you have identified are important for the conversions,
Sure.
and users who have told that there are these elements which is stopping them from converting. Then how can you enable those portions on the website so that people are able to get the answers which they were looking for faster, or how you can remove those hesitations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And lastly, the review mining, which I just touched upon, is basically to really understand if the messaging is
Hmm.
in an understandable format or not, right?
Hmm.
The content that is present on the website, is it easy enough to understand? Is it utilizing the voice of their own customer, or is it full of technical jargons which a layman customer won't be able to understand?
Hmm.
So all of these things put together can really uncover so much of problems on the website, and from there the journey of A/B testing or course correction can happen.
Yeah. Wow. This is mind-boggling, and amazing. It's amazing that you broke it down right from the funnel side of things to understand, get that feedback, and What I'm loving from all of this is it is so data driven. Right?
Yes.
It's not my hunch, it's not my bias, because I think a very, very important part of building a company and an entrepreneur comes a lot of bias also.
Yeah.
I always use this statement, is like, we can create the best platform in the world, sitting in a room where nobody wants to buy, because that's just how the world has become now. Everybody has a nice digital uh, window or a gateway, and they imagine this the world to be. But customers trying to give that feedback is so, so pivotal. But tell me this, that from the looks of it, what you're saying, Jyoti, and um, doing all this is a lot of work. Doing all this requires a lot of skill set, the data driven mindset, trying to really understand the leaky buckets, and trying to do it. um, is it because it's too complicated, a lot of people don't want to get into it and they're like, let it be? Do you think that is also the case?
I think for some folks, it could be the case where maybe the team is not large enough, right? People who already have their customer support function separate, right? The customer support function themselves can give the insights about what people are talking about, what people are complaining about, for
Hmm.
example. I think it's a lack of awareness mostly, and how, and especially now these days, earlier it was too much of a manual effort, no doubt, but
Hmm.
these days with chat gpt and the gpts that you can create on your own, actually you can simplify a lot of research, and which will reduce a lot of
Okay.
manual time also, right?
Okay.
I think I would say that at this point of time, after the launch of all these fancy ai tools, it might be a sheer lack of awareness at this point
Yeah.
of time.
Okay. I wouldn't say if we are in the same, not fancy, but yeah, AI tool as well onto this, but yeah. Okay. Um, uh, that is what I would like to get into a little bit more, and was my next question, and I'm glad you kind of touched upon it. Is no two customer journeys are alike. Right? Everybody has their own ways to surf around, and again, and the most classic example here is, you sit with your spouse, your partner, your kid, or whoever, and you hand them over a TV remote. The way they will maneuver around on Netflix to reach a show will be different. Right? Well, me and my wife sitting trying to buy something online, if she has to go to some other collection page and a PDB, she will go in a complete different way than I would have gone. Right? And the end goal is the same. How and what are the aspects where you see technology really making a difference to CRO? And you know what are the things that brands should look out, that this is what they are really going to get benefits of? Yeah.
Personalization, of course, is the king here now.
Yeah.
I think even after, I mean, like you yourself said, right? No two customer journeys are alike. The key is to really understand and be able to segment the users. Okay, who people who are coming via navigation, how, what is their behavior? People who are directly entering into the product page, how are they behaving, right? People who are consuming videos versus people who are not, right? So I think the primary pre action is to be able to segment this data to really understand the intent of the users, right? And of course, there are going to be, let's say, 85% of the people who will be having very high bounce rate. There is no point in including them in your analysis, because coming in from your cold marketing channels, they were anyways not supposed to buy. We can focus on people who are showing consideration, right? Who are consuming some content on the website. So, segmentation is the key here to understand, and then creating a personalized journey for them. And this is basically the way forward. I mean, we cannot treat like no one size fits all.
Yeah, true. And as you said, AI is going to be a major disruptor here. Do you do you see it already delivering now? Do you see the results? Do you see the impacts with some of your personal experiences or some of the solutions that you've seen in the market?
I think yes, it is going to be a big game changer. For some of my clients, they are using some Shopify apps who are using some aspects to deliver more personalized experience,
Hmm.
more data-driven aspects of it. And these solutions don't even need A/B testing. The
Hmm.
optimization is happening real time.
Wow.
So it is, yeah, it is crazy and very impactful, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's super interesting. I think uh, the time comes in every technology adoption that it's not just the software or not just a hardware which makes an impact. It's the culmination of multiple facets coming kind of together. And I think CRO now is getting that mainstream because the whole media cost is not helping.
Yeah.
But I think AI evolution is a very, very good reason. And when people have problems, they look for solutions. So the culmination of all of this together, I'm really hoping that CRO is something they start looking at day one, the way you said. When somebody is launching a new brand, launching a new Shopify store or an e-commerce website, they don't just think of how I'm going to get the traffic, but they also start looking at what am I going to do for the traffic that I actually bring, because I'm paying for every single visitor, like at least 80% of them on an average, right?
Right.
And this is how we'll really wish the whole e-commerce game to be kind of changing,
I
right?
think it is already here. I remember. So, um, about 8 years back, Google had launched their first smart campaign, Google Ads, Google Ad platform, smart shopping campaign. And
Yeah.
now it then eventually evolved into Performance Max campaign. It was nothing but full of this machine learning, automated optimization. You don't have the campaign optimizer, the person behind the laptop doesn't have to do anything to optimize it. They just need to feed the data. That's about
Hmm.
it. System will take care of itself.
Nice.
Same thing, Facebook campaigns, Meta ads also launched with their own dynamic product ads, and now open targeting seems to be working the best most for most of the brands out there, because
Mhm.
with machine learning and all of this, system is capable to optimize and deliver whatever the best results are, right?
Absolutely.
And the same thing is not very far for the e-commerce websites also, to have the similar experience with data collected. The personalization can happen on the website and start optimizing itself.
How much do you think this personalization in real time is important for e-commerce?
I think it's really important, and it is not just today, it has always been there in the industry. Take, for example, um, before online world, you would always would want to speak to someone to get your needs catered, right? That someone who can actually tell you basis your needs, create a custom solution for you, right? Then WhatsApp marketing, etc., started, right? Then social commerce, all of that. These things which have picked up eventually actually shows that, and these are picking up only because the need of the personalization is there. People want that connect, right?
Hmm.
And people want to buy from people, they want that connection
Absolutely.
always.
Yeah.
So what's better than visiting a website, seeing your previous journey, seeing your like making you feel that okay, this website knows me. They know what my tastes are like, and they know what will appeal to me, and they know what level of content will appeal to me, like that. So it is definitely super super relevant and will have the most impact.
Okay. All right. I'm really enjoying this, Jyoti. I think your thoughts and the statements that you're making comes with so much clarity and so much experience, which I think is really important for everybody watching and including me, that I'm learning this. Um, uh, One very important question, more of a testament of your work. Um, do you have like a case study or something like a top thing that you had done for a brand that came to you, and some of the most basic things that you kind of solve with them, and what was the results after?
Okay. Um, Not one specific case, but I would say one very important use case that we have figured out, that if any e-commerce brand will apply, it can really influence and uplift their conversion rates. Actually, I'll talk about two things.
Please.
One, after analyzing so many e-commerce websites over the past few years and doing so much of A/B testing, what we have realized is that the navigation is the most interacted element on any website, not just for e-commerce, but even for service-based businesses, even for SaaS platforms. The hamburger menu, that, and I'm talking about mobile obviously majorly because traffic is there, that little hamburger menu is having the highest number of clicks, be it a website of any scale. Either it is driving 10,000 traffic or 100,000 or million traffic a month. This will
Okay.
be the most interactive element.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
Now, the experience when someone clicks on those little three lines of hamburger menu can actually make or break the impact that your funnel further down from there can have on a user, right? People, when they land on the homepage, are not going to scroll down. They will quickly click on, after looking at your first fold, they might get clarity, not clarity, unclear still. They will click on that hamburger menu and try to understand, okay, where they do want to go next. And
Hmm.
still, with a lot of questions in their mind, they will have already a lot of questions if the brand is new. Okay, what is the shipping policy? What is the return policy?
Yeah.
Is there a shipping fees?
Yeah.
Or how do I know which product I want to go to, which
Hmm.
product I want to explore, right?
Hmm.
So that navigation experience can have a lot of impact if you can
Totally.
utilize that real estate,
Hmm.
show images, include descriptions, little descriptions, include your key value propositions of your product, include your key policies, um, boast about the, include your social proof, include one of your best review that you must have gotten. That little real estate can do wonders for the store's performance.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, this is one aspect which every e-commerce brand out there should look out, because this has been the pattern, and I know this will definitely work. The only thing is you need to figure out what pattern, what format is really working for you, obviously.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
second aspect is the product page. And what on product page? Essentially, the information discoverability, right? On any product page, there is so much of information below add to cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some things are hidden in the accordions. Some information is present way below the down the page with images, with huge block of text, etc., etc. Frequently asked questions present 100 folds down the product page, like that. But nobody is going to read or have that patience to really trying to figure out, okay, where is that information that I'm really looking for. So as a brand, it is very important for them to make it easier for the user to find that information. So include anchors on the first fold itself,
Hmm.
include some little information tabs, hyperlinks, etc. Include secondary navigation, which can take the user directly to those sections which they are interested in, rather than them putting so much of effort finding that information.
Hmm.
These things have worked almost all the times where we have tested for
Nice.
brands we have worked with, and these two things can really change the game.
Wow. Excellent. No, I think these are very, very valuable insights, and like you said, right, I think they're pretty much applicable to any and every band we can find.
Right.
More than 85% traffic anyways is mobile centric nowadays and increasing drastically every year, so this should be a no-brainer. And yeah, thank you, Jyoti. This is really amazing. Now comes the most toughest question of this entire conversation. So you have to also give us a little bit data about yourself. That means you have to tell us something very funny or a cool thing or an incident or something happened with you. Share it with the community that you've not told anybody till now.
Something I have not told anybody till now.
Yes.
Wow. Hmm.
Something
Okay.
happened with you, or like a funny incident, or like funny enough, I had a founder, D2C founder, uh, who said that they have a lot of their traffic coming in from Instagram, but he said, I don't like social media,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that just so counterproductive. In that way, you would not imagine somebody saying, he said, I don't like it, but I have to do it, or my team does it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So it's just something like that.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Um, One thing on top of my mind is there only because
Mhm.
I was reading about it during the weekend
Yeah.
is me and the imposter syndrome have a
Okay.
very close, strong connection, you know. Um, I might come across as confident or know it all, or I don't know, but deep down, I'm always like, oh, there is so much to learn more. Oh,
Yeah.
I know enough, or full
Yeah.
of doubt for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. But that's the best way to do it, Jyoti. Sometimes confidence can go up your head very easily. But the field we are in, there's so much competition, there's so much evolution, and so many new things happening all the time. I think learning is the only constant.
Right.
And
That's how I try to calm myself down.
exactly. And the thing is to put in practice whatever you learn from there, and just execute, implement, and deliver value every single day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jyoti. I think it was an amazing conversation. It went just so nice and smooth. And during this course of you talking so smoothly, and just in your nice and cool voice, you gave us so many tips here that I think a lot of guys should be able to use, including me. And all the best for all the things, and looking forward to having on this podcast again sometime soon.
Thank you so much. It was fun. Yeah.
Great. All right. Thank you.